On to our next story now. The Nepalese government has decided to prorogue the parliament during the ongoing budget session, even as trouble mounts for Nepalese Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, who is now said to be facing one of the toughest crises of his political career. According to reports, 30 of the 44 members of the Standing Committee are demanding for the resignation of Prime Minister Sharma Oli. All this just within a span of a fortnight of Prime Minister Sharma Oli having brought about a constitutional amendment redrawing the map of the country to include the Indian territories of Lipulekh, Limpiadura and Kalapani as Nepalese territories in an act which critics have described as cartographic expansion. KP Sharma Oli is under for his remarks that India is plotting with his rivals to topple his government. Now, according to sources, Prime Minister Sharma Oli is planning to bring about an ordinance to save his chair. He has already prorogued the parliament today while the budget session was in progress, and with the ordinance he intends to change the rules which will be applicable when a party splits. But now the Nepalese Prime Minister is on the back foot. 2 years ago, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli had joined hands with former Prime Minister Prachanda to form a unity government. The two rivals had struck an agreement that they would occupy the post of the Prime Minister in turns. But 6 months ago, Prachanda had made a statement that he had agreed to let KP Sharma Oli continue as the Prime Minister for the complete tenure of 5 years. But with the recent comments made by KP Sharma Oli that Prachanda is being instigated by New Delhi, pressure is growing on him to either provide proof for his allegations or step down from his post. India and Nepal have always shared close ties, which recently, by the Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, had been described as the ties of bread and kinship. The sharp and friendly stance displayed towards India by the Nepalese Prime Minister is said to be at the behest of Chinese debt diplomacy, which has made Nepal behave as a pawn of China in the larger game orchestrated by Beijing. Our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Civil, gets us this report.
Lot of fast-paced developments in Kathmandu. The Nepali cabinet, led by the Nepali Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, has asked the president of the country to prorogue the parliament. That means that the Nepali Prime Minister will not have to face the Nepali Parliament when it comes to no confidence motion. Also, he can bring in ordinances. He brought a controversial ordinance in April that can divide smaller parties, and this coming amidst the growing criticism he is facing from his own party. Remember, the Nepali Communist Party has two co-chairs. One, of course, the Prime Minister of Nepal, KP Sharma Oli. Another, Prachanda faction. And we have seen criticism by Prachanda and other party members against the Prime Minister at the Standing Committee meeting, which took place last week and is taking place this week as well, over mishandling of the COVID crisis, ties with India, anti-corruption protests which are taking place, anti-corruption protests which are taking place in Kathmandu and in the country. In fact, when the Parliament of Nepal was passing the controversial new map law, there were protests taking place outside against the Prime Minister. How does India fit in? Well, we know that the Nepali Prime Minister has been playing the nationalism card by deflecting attention to India, creating artificial controversies, and it seems now he's running out of that, and with the growing pressure inside the party and in the country, he is facing a lot of problems now, and this political development today of proroguing the parliament is outcome of this entire crisis, so that he can save his chair as the Prime Minister. In fact, on Sunday he said that India wants to topple him, and immediately on Monday there was criticism in his own party. The Prachanda-led faction, in fact, Prachanda himself criticized the Prime Minister, saying that it is not India who is demanding resignation, it is Prachanda himself who wants resignation of the Nepali Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli. With video journalist Kapil, Siddhant Sibal for WION in New Delhi.